Thanks, first of all, everybody that's messaged about the dog in the last couple of days. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's weird because you throw this thing out there as almost like a throwaway comment and you go off on a tangent. And, you know, it's weird. It's just weird. You start doing YouTube and 10 people watch and then all of a sudden, you know, there's 1,000 people interested in your dog, basically. So I think it's really good. I'm really pleased. It's a big deal for us here in this house. And I will give you more details as it gets closer. I'm pretty chuffed, to be fair. So many people are interested in it. So listen, thank you very much indeed. We're going to talk about West Ham. Well, so we're going to talk about West Ham. I had an idea actually in my head. It was a bad idea. It was the most West Ham thought I think I've ever had. So we play Ipswich today, obviously, which is sort of what this video is about. And then we got the international break, and then we play Tottenham. Not great, to be honest with you. And then we play Manchester United. And my brain just went, do you know what? Right before we play Man United, they're going to sack Erik ten Hag because I think he's quite useless, right? They're going to sack him and get someone brilliant, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Sir Alex Ferguson will come back out of retirement and they'll beat us 10-0. It'll be sod's law. That's what I'm saying. It's a big game. Big game. Not that one. The one against Ipswich. I was looking at the league and thought, you know, I thought, wow, there's some crap teams. There's some teams that should be good in the Premier League this season. And I'm sort of just looking, I've just got it behind me. Excuse me, I'm not being rude and not looking at you. If I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the screen behind me. Or behind you, should I say. Crystal Palace were meant to be brilliant this season, right? So if you'd have said last season, who would you want? There was a number of managers. And I don't think I'd said Oliver Glasner, because he'd only just rocked up at Crystal Palace. But if you'd have said, would you fancy him? I'd have said, oh, yeah, brilliant, you know, expansive football and all the rest of it. And now I'm looking at it thinking, well, I thought Palace were going to be brilliant this season. And now they look crap. They have, well, they've not won a game in their last 5. And now it looks like, you know, so much of their team was based on Michael Olise. I might have that wrong, but, you know, it's looking at it. Wolves, look at Wolves. They're absolutely terrible. So as average as we are, and it is a bit average, it's not horrendous, is it? And when Gio said to me in the preview that he didn't feel that even if we lost to Ipswich, Lopetegui could get the sack, and I sort of, you know, did a double take when he said that. But now, you know, having looked at the league, I don't think so either. Actually, our away form's pretty good, isn't it, really, when you think about it? Well, undefeated away from home, apart if you exclude the Cup, and I think you can exclude the Cup, can't you, if you're just looking at the league table. So, look, big game for him today. It really is. I'm sort of fascinated what he's going to do up front. It's I have a feeling he'll still start with Antonio, which does beg the question, what is he going to do? What's his plan? He can't drop Kudus. I know I've discussed it already, but he can't. He just can't, because it just brings up all that nasty speculation, all that horrible stuff, doesn't it? Again, and he's a wily old fox. I mean, he's been in the game a long time, right? What is he? How old is he? 58 or something like that? I might be doing him a disservice. So someone turns to us, actually, he's 47. No, he's something like that. And he'll know. He'll have enough knowledge of playing the media game and all the rest of it to know that he probably can't leave Kudus out. So is he going to play him on the left again? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens there. But it's a tough one. The fans need a win. So Gio's there today. I'm here. Obviously. Gio's there today. He needs to give the fans something to get behind. So I was at the last game against Chelsea. Needs to give the home fans a little bit of something to get behind today. I think that's really, really important. I do fancy he's going to play Mavropanos at right back, but he's a hard man to guess, this Lopetegui. And I was listening to his press conference. Oh, honestly, I really didn't think. Excuse me, I've got a swig of my tea. Excuse me. Bloody good cup of tea, that. Little did I think, when we got rid of David Moyes, that we'd get somebody sort of less charismatic in the press conferences. And he lured you in. Lopetegui lured you in. If you saw all the pre-season stuff, he was bubbly, he was full of character. He had a lot to say. Now he says nothing. Nothing. He says the bare minimum. He wouldn't be drawn on the Kudus stuff. I don't blame him for that, by the way. I don't blame him for that. And actually, it was quite interesting to see the journalists, when he did his pre-match press conference, didn't press him on it at all, which I thought was, well, I thought, you know what, I thought it was actually the right thing to do. Nobody asked the tough questions, and he gave this stock answer. And he for some reason, he got asked about it. He lumped Paqueta in there as well. He was talking about teamwork, though. He's definitely talking about teamwork a lot, and that was what he was saying with problems. I think that was part of what was being said. That was part of the accusation for the first half against Brentford. And I think it was a lack of teamwork, lack of pulling it together. And I think it's basically then, right, and you're off. So I think that might have been what set the fireworks off, basically. So, yeah, anyway, it's got an interesting one. I think he's going to play Souček. Really has to, doesn't he? He's saved it. I was looking at the goal scoring charts. And obviously, there's been some impressive. Look, Erling Haaland, 10 goals. Cole Palmer, 6 goals. We won't talk about Cole Palmer. And I looked at West Ham. So West Ham's top goal scorer is Thomas Souček and own goals. They're both doing they're both doing pretty poorly, to be fair. Both Thomas Souček and own goals. But it's nice to see West Ham have solved the striker problem after all these years, isn't it? It was interesting actually listening to Gio, and then somebody else also talking about Delap, who obviously plays up front for Ipswich a few days ago, and talking about this 15, 20 goal a season striker. I thought, oh wow, love to, how long has it been? It's a little bit funny because obviously Jared Bowen has scored plenty of goals. We just don't call him a striker, so to speak. But do you know what? It'd be really, really good for us to get that sorted out, really. I don't know if you noticed this, actually, that David Sullivan's had his house up for sale. Have you seen it? You must have seen it. It's everywhere. It's in the news everywhere. So I say his house. It's not like his mansion. Well, it's one of his, not his main mansion. This, you know what it's like in life. The second mansion, right? So the main mansion in Essex, that's not for sale. He's keeping that one. But the big mansion in Marylebone that's up for sale. And I loved it. If you looked at the store, I can't remember what newspaper I read it in, and it said West Ham chairman David Sullivan is having to drop the price from 75 million to 65 million because he said you've got to be realistic. I've done that for the second, inverted commas, bunny rabbits. You've got to be realistic. You've got to be realistic. You've got to be look, you know what I mean? It's a buyer's market, isn't it? You've got to be realistic. You've got to drop that 10 million off. But anyway, it wasn't so much that. You knew it was a slow news week because that was happening. What did make me laugh, though, and I can't remember the exact wording, but he bought this house sort of 15 years ago, this mansion, and they used to have, I mean, there's music videos. There was an Amy Winehouse music video there. I think there used to be these big raucous parties there. I think they've used it for filming stuff, and it's big. It used to be an embassy once upon a time, but anyway, so it used to have these raucous parties, naughty old parties, right? It used to have there. And I just read this. It was just one of the weirdest sentences I've ever read. So he bought it in 2015, and it said the house. I can't remember what the name of the street was, but the house in Marylebone, the townhouse in Marylebone, had something of a reputation for raucous parties before the pornographer took ownership of the property. And I thought, what's the point? Oh, that should read the wrong way round. So basically, it had the raucous parties, then the pornographer bought it, and then the raucous parties stopped. And I just thought, well, it's the wrong way round, isn't it? Should have done the orgies and all the stuff when the pornographer owned it. Anyway, Hugh Hefner would have never done it like that, that's for sure. Anyway, this video's taken a bit of a funny turn, hasn't it? Right, anything else to say? Yeah, I've done my team, haven't I? Areola, I think Mavropanos. This is not what I think will happen, this is what I want. If we've done what I want, let me try and guess what I think he'll do. Areola, I think he'll do Mavropanos. Is he going to be brave enough to do that? We'll go Mavropanos, Todibo, Kilman, Obi-Wan-Bissaka. I think he'll do that. I think he will go. I think it'll be quite close to the team. This is what I think he'll do. It'll be quite close to the team I said. However, I don't think he's got the ultimate. I don't know. How big are his Niagaras? He's not going to do it. I think he's just back to those raucous parties again. Alvarez, Souček. He won't drop Souček. Can't drop Souček. He's joint top scorer with own goals. Bowen. I think he'll play Antonio. Bowen, Paqueta, Kudus, Antonio. That's the team, I think. Lopetegui will select for today. Anyway, I'll see you an hour and 5 minutes before, hour and 5 minutes before kickoff. All things being equal, bear with me. I've got this new technology. Have you seen it? Have you seen the build-up show and the watch-along? There's technology. There's stuff on the screen. There's buttons to press. Got a new thing. Got a new toy. Look at that. Brilliant. Look, no hands. There's buttons to press. There's honestly, there's all sorts of things going on, and all this software. I'm like a ticker tape, and then like a lineup that keeps rotating the starting lineup, a scoreboard. I'm crammed in. No space. Not like this at the moment. So yeah, join us an hour and 5 minutes before kickoff. Yeah, that's right. What could possibly go wrong? I think it might just be fun. I think quite a lot might go wrong. So, yeah, that should be interesting. Anyway, enjoy what's left of your morning. I will catch up with you at 1:55.